Hello everyone, my name is Anuja Sharvastav from Maa Kalyanika School, Pendra Road, Chhattisgarh. Today I am going to take the physics class of class 7. So before starting the chapter, let's see the different things you are observing, like your pencil box. You are going to purchase the water bottle, the cold drinks and the things related to that, all things. Today the first chapter is that, and the name of that chapter is physical quantities and measurement. Physical quantities now. The thing here, two things are written: physical quantities and measurement. So let us come to know what is physical quantities and what is measurement. So basically the physical quantities, anything, something that can be measured, that is known as the physical quantities. कोई भी चीज़ जिसको हम मेज़र कर सकते हैं, that thing is called physical quantities. Or measurement, it is nothing, it is generally the determination of size, quantity, capacity of an object is measurement. That means determination of size, quantity and capacity is measurement. Size, quantity, capacity of an object, that is the determination. And I told you what is physical quantities. It is nothing, it is only something that can be measured. कोई भी ऐसी चीज़ जिनको हम measure कर सकते हैं. Something that can be so the name of the chapter is not defined. What is physical quantities and what is measurement? So let us start with the topic physical quantities. So I already told you the quantities, the thing that can be measured. So the physical quantities, it is furtherly divided into two types. That is, physical quantities is of two types. First is the fundamental quantities and second is the derived quantities. That means two types of physical quantities is there: physical quantity and derived quantity. So physical quantity, what is it? It is the quantity which is independent on other physical quantity. So let's start with the physical quantity first. And what is physical quantities? Something that can be measured. So it is of two types: fundamental quantities and the next one is the derived quantities. And what is the definition of fundamental quantities? The quantities which is independent on other physical quantities. So And if we will talk about the derived quantities, that is what is derived quantities. So it is the physical quantity that is defined in the term of fundamental quantities. That means this quantity, it is independent on physical quantities, and derived quantities, it is just defined in the term of fundamental quantities. So the physical quantity that is defined in term of fundamental quantities. So first we have to study about the physical quantities. Then there is two type of physical quantity, fundamental quantities and derived quantities. What is fundamental quantities? It is nothing, quantities independent on other physical quantities. And derived quantities, this derived quantities, this is a physical quantity that is defined in the term of the fundamental quantities. Now fundamental quantities, you were studied also in class 6. 7 fundamental quantities are the quantities, that is the length, the mass, time, temperature. These all things are fundamental quantities, like length, time, temperature, etc. But there is total 7 different fundamental quantities are there. I am going to write the name here again. Now I am going to write the name again here. The length, time, temperature, then mass, then after electric current, after electric current, luminous intensity, and last one, the 7th one, is the amount of substance. Now these 7 are the fundamental quantities, and on this basis we are going to derive the derived quantities. Now let's move toward the derived quantities. I already told you the definition of derived quantities, the physical quantities that can be defined in term of fundamental quantities. Okay. Now suppose if I am going to give the example, suppose we have to measure the area. If we have to measure the area, so we must need about the length and breadth of that area. So it is necessary to know about the length and now if you want to derive the volume of something, so if you want to derive the volume of something, we must know about the length, breadth and height. And these all terms are related with the fundamental quantities. That's why the derived quantities is also need the fundamental quantities. Now let us start the different derived quantities, how we can measure it. So first we will start with the measurement of the volume. Now, so first, what is volume? The volume is nothing, it is the amount of space, which is occupied by the object. The object, suppose this is the object and I am putting it here. It occupies some space and that space is known as the volume. So what is volume? It is amount of space occupied by an object. Now, so you are watching, I have given you the example of solid. It had occupied the space, but liquid and gases, they are also having the volume. And you can see it easily, you can observe it easily. Amount of water in a jug is more than the amount of water in a glass. That means liquid also having the volume. And same here, the amount of air in a tire of truck and the amount of air in a tire of a bicycle is also less. That's why the gases also having the volume. That is why the measurement of volume is also necessary. Now, the volume is measured, the SI unit of volume is cubic meter. SI unit of volume is cubic meter, and you can write it like this way. Okay. Now, the volume can also be measured in the huge thing and also in the small thing. Suppose if you want to measure the volume of a brick, so volume of brick can be measured, because this is a small thing, it can be measured in the cubic centimeter. Like it is written like this. And same here, if we will discuss about the liquid, the amount of water in a huge area can be measured in liter, and a small amount of liquid can be measured in ml, like a medicine, like a syrup. Okay. So this is about the measurement of the volume. Let's see how solid can be measured. Measurement of volume in solid. Now, in solid, we can measure the shape of regular solid as well as irregular solid. So, if we will discuss about the regular solid, like cube, like cuboid, which is having the regular shape, it can be easily measured. The formula for cube and for measurement of cube volume can be measured as V is equal to, क्योंकि cube में the length, so it should be length into length into length, and we have to put the what? The cubic meter, its unit. And if we will talk about the cuboid, volume of cuboid is equal to length into breadth into height. So this way we can measure the volume of regular solid. But if we will discuss about the irregular solid, so how we can measure the irregular solid? Like a stone which is thrown on the road. So it is also very easy. Take a stone, tie the stone with the thread like this. Suppose this one is the irregular shaped stone, and tie this stone with the thread and keep it in the measuring cylinder filled with water. एक पानी से भरे हुए measuring cylinder में इसको रखेंगे और रखने के बाद note the reading. Whatever the reading is there, that reading is known as the V1. Suppose V1 reading is 50. Suppose V1 reading is 50 ml. And that means before putting the thread, and after putting the thread, it is 75 ml. It is 75 ml. So now what happened? Just take the volume of the irregular shape. So V is equal to V2 minus V1. That means the volume is equal to 25 ml, or it can be also written as cubic centimeter. Okay, this is for the irregular shape. Now I told you about the measurement of volume and how can we measure the volume in the regular solids and in the irregular solid. Okay, the V1 is the initial volume, and if we will discuss about the V2 is the water with the stone. Volume of water with stone. Okay, now today I am only explained you about the measurement of the volume. Rest of the thing how we can measure I will tell you in the next video. Thank you.